A mature mimic's diet is comprised entirely of human flesh.
This silence is killing me. Like, seriously. Say something. Talk to the camera. Do a vlog. Do something.
Because of this, they are found solely.
What the?
Besides all of this, some people still keep trimmings as pets and relatively domesticate them.
The following content may contain suicide and self-harm topics. What's up, guys? DemiGodDee here, and welcome back to DR. I didn't expect that thing to be the first thing I see, but this is DR number 7, and today we'll be watching 𝛃 𝜵îî mimic defense instructional tape. And after that is another video, but we'll get there. But y'all know I like to make my intro short. Let's get into it because I'm kind of scared. Because what? My freaking. Ow, ow, ow.
As of the time of this video's release, we have been facing a concerning increase of missing persons and fatalities on a global scale. The reason for this is because we are under attack. We have discovered that there has been a significant growth of mimic populations, which is threatening public safety. National leaders have released this instructional recording to teach you on how to defend yourself. Here is what you need to know about the threat. Mimics are humanoid, intelligent predators that are highly adaptive and feed solely on human prey. Mimics gain information on people by watching their daily lives and pick to hunt people when they are most vulnerable. The most common times a mimic will attack is when you are asleep, out walking alone, or in a cornered position. Mimics are cautious and calculative creatures, taking precautions to ensure a successful hunt. They utilize various tactics to capture a person by surprise. One of the more well-known tactics is hiding itself inside of furniture, to blend into its environment.
Furniture?
Common objects that mimics can hide inside are sofas, recliners, wardrobes, ottomans, and other places a mimic can comfortably wait.
What the?
Mimics are able to contort their body in ways that allow them to fit inside smaller places. They also use it to expand their body, making themselves appear larger for intimidation. Another method mimics use to blend in is their ability to put on and wear clothing.
Wait.
Mimics put on layers of shirts, pants, and jackets to hide their bright red skin and blend into densely populated areas. In very rare cases, mimics can develop and grow to look very similar to human beings.
Like shapeshifters.
Pairing this with clothing, it can be very hard to tell the difference between a mimic and a person right away. If you are unsure if a person is a mimic, look out for key features that may reveal their true form.
Never mind.
Look for abnormal facial features, like large, bulbous eyes, flat noses, wide mouths and an uncanny smile, and clammy skin. Also pay attention to other exposed body parts like hands. Mimic people will have long fingers with no fingernails. If you are unable to see their face or hands, watch their walking pattern. Mimics' legs are long and hunched. Their walking will be unusual and irregular. Here is what you do if you are met with a mimic. If it stands before you, do not panic. Stand your ground and try to appear larger. Wave your hands and make plenty of noise.
That's not gonna work.
Maintain eye contact. A mimic will hesitate to attack a potential threat. If you are armed with a weapon, aim for the head or legs.
There you go.
These are the best areas to hit to immobilize the threat. Fight back and don't let it get a hold on you. If you find a mimic that hasn't discovered you yet, stay out of sight. Call the authorities and alert them of your location. Stay where you are to avoid startling the mimic. If the mimic gives chase, run. Try to get somewhere out of sight and hide. Do not leave the area. Officials will need to locate you to help. Stay low and stay quiet. with the information you have learned. Use it well, and stay safe.
I don't know. That's creepy. But I said it was like shapeshifters. If their skin is like red or clammy, long feet, you could definitely tell that's a mimic. You got me messed up confusing that from a human. He said run. If I see a mimic in general, I'm just gonna shoot at it. Evidence take. Christopher and Janice case 1983. Whoa.
Got it. Let's see. Yep, it's working.
Hey, can we get a move on?
1 sec. Yeah. Okay. Hello.
I thought you only had 30 minutes of tape on that.
I know, but just gotta see how it works. Like,
Yeah, well,
I never got to
don't
use
have
one
all
of these.
night.
It's too bad. You were the only person who could film with me, so you're gonna have to put up with it. It's still way too dark. 1 sec. There we go. Hello.
I like how they're like not showing her face. I like that detail.
Oh, there we go. You got some light now. But look at that over there. You can't see anything unless I like point directly over there. Like, nope, can't see nothing.
Do the mimics like run in groups, or is it
I'm
just?
sure we should be out this late.
Fine, I'll cook you stuff when we get home. Don't worry.
I'm hungry.
Too bad.
I got a weird feeling, but I'ma just shut up and watch. But we'll see. It's not even like the mimics are like actual people. It's not like they can talk, but the fact they have enough brain power to be like, you know what, I'm gonna go to a populated area, put on some human clothing, and see can I catch me some food. The fact that they think like that is scary. He did say they're like predators, but bro, what the heck? That is... no.
Still turns off and on randomly for some reason. Like, it's the best thing I could get my hands on, though. Turning on and off, but it's the only thing that they would give me. It works, though. I just gotta watch.
This is gnarly.
It's not my fault this guy lives in a fucking dump. We're almost there. We just gotta get through the woods.
I thought these niggas was going home.
See it, though? Hopefully I show up on camera, so... hopefully there are lights out there. Like, people still live there, right? Can't be that bad.
Pretty dark for me.
But it was just one guy. I don't know why. Like, why would they get rid of everything?
One guy.
So, what are we doing out here exactly?
Well, supposedly they found some guy. Like, it was like a grody scene. Like, it was disgusting. Like they had to get rid of the trailer he was in, and then like they didn't let anyone nearby, and it was like this big conspiracy. So I'm filming that. Hopefully I get a good mark for it.
So they're not going home. Basically exploring where this dude lived in his trailer. That's what I'm thinking is happening. I might be wrong. I'm trying to listen, but I'm scared for them.
We're on the road. We're almost there. We just got past the tree line and make the way to the trailer park. Then we can go home. Okay?
Okay.
I don't want to be out here either. It's a weird place. See, we're right here. You go ahead. You can't see a thing.
Where am I even going?
Just up here. There should be a path. Right there, yeah, right here.
Okay.
See, I found the path. We're all good.
They're acting like mimics don't exist in their world, and they're out here at night just going through a freaking forest. What the? I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting on something to happen, like her ankle getting snatched or something. I'm just waiting. I don't want it to happen, but bro, the silence is killing me.
I think this way. Yo, look at this. I didn't see this on my way over here last time. It's cool. Like, we could get a shot of this in, like, atmosphere, you know?
It just looks like tetanus to me.
Hold till. One sec, let me get a good lighting on that. There we go. Yeah, look at that. That's cool. Hey, look, there's like old stuff here as well. Anyways.
Oh, why are they even out here, man? Just go home, bro. She's hungry. Your girlfriend's starving, bro. You gotta cook her din-din.
We're on the flat part now.
Shut up.
Yeah, we're close. Trailer should be right up ahead. This is where everyone was. There's no one here now, though. Not a single building in sight. Except, like, way over there. But there's no one here. It's the strangest thing. This thing. Okay. So, you take the camera and the light. Point it at me, but don't point it in my eyes, please. Make sure. How do I look?
Like a barf bag.
Thanks. Alright, give me a second. And let me do a little read. Okay. You're 19.
Confidential? What the? I know we're watching like an evidence tape, but like, I think they're doing like a, not a documentary, but like there's a word for it. Like how news channels be doing. Like, oh, this was the spot where Dr. Davis died. I don't know. Yeah, something happened at that trailer and they were trying to find it, so they're just gonna like do a news report. I don't know if they specifically work for the news report, but.
You said grizzly way too much.
What?
You said grizzly way too much.
Too much?
Yeah.
Okay, should I retry?
Sure.
Okay.
Pause.
That one turned out alright, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, why is it rolling? Did you catch that?
Oh.
30 minutes to film, and yet you screwed it. I needed someone to film. Alright? No hard feelings, okay?
Okay.
It's pretty scary out here. I know. I understand. Yeah, because, like, back there was a...
They could have did this in the morning, but no, they want to do it at nighttime.
Cut it out. It's scary enough as is. Chris? 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 Where are you? Chris! Come on! This isn't funny! Chris! I just want to go home, come on!
Right, she's hungry.
Fine, I guess I'm going home without you.
That nigga's...
Cold, tired, and hungry. If you want to stay out here and play games, you can.
No way he can just... He just disappeared. He just disappeared. Especially when they were just walking. You're like, did he get sent to the back room? And she's actually just gonna go home and walk through the woods by herself. I'm getting Blair Witch vibes. This silence is killing me. Like, seriously. Say something. Talk to the camera. Do a vlog. Do something.
Chris? What are you doing? Because this isn't funny.
Yeah, she's dead. Ah, shit, that's actually loud. That was actually loud. I didn't expect her to just scream randomly. She's going for a marathon. And the fact that the camera ain't like, oh, she made it home. Oh, she actually made it home. I thought the dude was gonna grab her ankles or something. Oh. What? Is that it? Oh! Okay, that was actually good. I actually enjoyed that. I just noticed that the second video I chose was actually made by the same person. So that's actually pretty cool. This video is called Living Meat. Pause. Living Meat Research Documentary. It just looks interesting to me, so. Other than, bro, how long is this? Warning. This contains gore, flashing lights, violence, and death. Federal law provides severe civil and criminal penalties for unauthorized viewing of this footage.
On planet Earth.
Ah, shit. No, hold up.
On planet Earth, life has thrived for millions of years. Creatures big and small have found ways to adapt and evolve to flourish in all types of environments. From barren wastes to lush forests, life can be found. Earth has homed these creatures since the dawn of life itself. Only until very recently, things have changed. New life forms have appeared all around the globe and completely changing the balance of nature and what we know about evolution itself. That is why we, at National Living Meat Research, have been studying these new species, trying to help educate everyone about these creatures and their wondrous ways of life. First, what are these new life forms? Since their explosive arrival across the globe in 1931, there has been much debate on what these newcomers are, and where they came from. Are they extraterrestrials coming to invade Earth? Or are they demons who come from hell to purge humanity? From what our scientists have discovered, no. The origins of these creatures are solely to Earth, miraculously out of nowhere. We don't know why or how, but one thing is for certain, Earth is now their home. What these creatures are is mysterious and still not well known today. But here is what we do know. These creatures are comprised mainly of muscle tissue, organs, and bones. They greatly resemble animals with no skin, or store-bought meat. Because of these characteristics, they have been named accordingly as 𝛵 The carni species consume decaying, organic matter, but their main diet is composed of raw meat, not including their carni's relatives. The carnis only appear in places where there is an abundance of crawl, which leads to the first creature of the carnis species, the crawl. The crawl is a growth of meaty tendrils that closely resemble the small intestine, the only difference being the dark red coloration. These tendrils grow in a similar pattern as vines, mold, or fungi.
It's like a bacteria.
A primary stem structure is the host to divisions of other, smaller branches. In each tendril contains a variety of veins, arteries, and other similar organs used to transport nutrients absorbed from its surroundings. The ends of these tendrils are equipped with organelles used to absorb water and organic matter necessary for growth. The source of these organic materials is mainly found in dirt and soil on surrounding surfaces. Using its root-like tendrils, it absorbs the material and processes it into usable energy. Although, the crawl also obtains energy through another means. Using a sophisticated form of photosynthesis, the dark pigmentation of the smaller branches is ideal for absorbing sunlight, and therefore allowing solar energy to fuel the crawl's growth. Because of its efficiency, it thrives in almost all types of environments, easily allowing it to spread across the world, and can be found pretty much anywhere. Its recent inclusion in the ecosystem has caused many major changes in nature's balance. One may assume that the crawl's presence may outcompete any other competitors, but due to its unique life cycle, where old branches fall off and decay into nutrient-rich compost, all forms of life seemingly flourish instead. The crawl's abundance grants plenty of nourishment to all animals, from plants feeding on the decayed crawl, herbivores thriving on increased plant population, and carnivores feeding on both the abundant prey, and are able to eat the crawl as well. The presence of all these animals leave behind waste, which will be broken down and consumed by the crawl, and the cycle begins again.
Okay, it's like a cycle.
Humanity also uses the crawl to our advantage. Because of the supernatural rate of growth and its richness in nutrients, it has been sustainably cultivated into domestic farms. The crawl is harvested and processed into fertilizer, which greatly increases crop yield and quality. The crawl may also be used as a food source for humans, and reliably so. But due to its unkindly appearance and taste, it has yet to reach cuisine standards. The crawl also plays a very important role in the next creatures that we have been studying. Sometimes, in a crawl-populated environment, a node of meat may develop on one of the branches. This node will fall off and grow into a functioning organism, and go to live on as an independent animal.
Oh, it's like a...
This leads us to the upcoming species that we will be discussing. The first of these creatures are the trimmings. The trimmings.
Bruh, I'm just
Trimmings
trying
are
to
small animals. They are commonly known to have a plump body, round head, small eyes, nose and ear holes, and an agape mouth. They are also equipped with a diversity of limbs. All individual trimmings are unique, each with a different body shape, number of limbs, and other characteristics.
It gets bigger? Pause.
One thing they all share in common is that they are made mostly of meat tissue, and are a maximum of 20 centimeters in length, no larger than a basketball. Its life starts with its separation from the crawl. It will wonder to find anything that is edible and able to consume. Although it is an omnivore, being able to hunt meat and forage for plant matter, trimmings are almost entirely scavengers. Their diet consists of rotting plants and meat, including, but not limited to, fruits, vegetables, roots, seeds, insects, and deceased animals. Although its appearance is unsightly, it is a cowardly creature, only fleeing, screeching, and hiding when threatened. Because of its lack of defensive traits, it lies near the bottom of the food chain,
So it doesn't
making it
attack.
easily overpowered and picked off very regularly by predators. Naturally, its population would eventually die out. This is not the case. The crawl constantly produces a large quantity of trimming nodes, keeping up their numbers. Naturally, trimmings can be found wherever there is abundant crawl. Trimmings grow at a decent pace, reaching maturity at around 7 months, having a maximum lifespan of 2 to 4 years. Although they are plentiful, humanity has no proper way to implement trimmings into society. Their overabundance has even considered them pests,
Hell no.
due to them digging through trash bins and making...
Hell no.
Besides all of this, some people still keep trimmings as pets, and relatively domesticate them.
No way that one human on planet Earth is keeping this as a pet.
Nuisance or not, trimmings are a wondrous creature. From their plentiful numbers, to their skittish nature, they are truly a thing to behold. The next species on our list is the meat snake.
The what?
The meat snake. The meat snake is a worm-like creature, made of a variety of types of meat, coated in a transparent, skin-like membrane. Its size varies during its lifespan, depending on how much it consumes. When it first separates from the crawl, it is only a few centimeters in length.
Bro, what?
Eventually, it will reach an average length of 5 meters. Although, under extreme conditions, like natural disasters, war, or plague, it can greatly surpass this length.
How big?
The meat
Pause.
snake's diet consists entirely of dead animals or parts. A meat snake is incapable of consuming a healthy, living organism. The meat snake allocates its food by using a tongue-like organ covered in sensors, to touch and feel its environment. The sensors catch particles of decaying meat, notifying the meat snake that there is food nearby. This process shares many similarities to regular snakes, hence the meat snake's name. Once it locates the corpse, the meat snake will open its jaw and swallow the entire body whole. Once the entire body is consumed, the meat snake's stomach will release a variety of chemicals. Some will break down soft tissue like skin, and the connection points between muscles. Others chemicals will then ferment and preserve the tissue to keep it from breaking down for as long as possible. After that, the remaining flesh and bones will move along the meat snake's tract and slowly be implemented into its own structure, extending the meat snake. Unsatisfactory parts like skulls, pelvises, hair, and fingernails will be excreted. Speaking of skulls, the meat snake will take the skull from the consumed organism and use it as its own. Each meat snake has its own skull, each corresponding to what that one has consumed. During its lifespan, it will swap or replace these skulls if needed.
He's upgrading.
The longest one has lived for was 28 years. The meat snake has no predators and is immune to disease due to its preserving chemicals. The only significant ways a meat snake can die is through starvation, burning, or complete destruction of the meat snake's membrane
That's the
coating.
only way?
Interestingly, the meat snake is the only member of the Carnies family that is able to reproduce. When a meat snake reaches an excessive size, and is in the conditions to do so, it will commence mitosis, splitting itself in two. Then the now two meat snakes will go on their separate ways and live on as two distinct organisms. Meat snakes can only be found in moderate temperature climates, not too hot, not too cold. Their population depends entirely on the amount of corpses available. Where there is death, there are meat snakes. The preserving fluid within the meat snake's body disinfects the carrion, preventing the spread of disease. Humans use meat snakes in butcher shops as a waste bin, dispose roadkill, within war on the battlefield to
use them
dispose
as
of festering bodies and
disposable,
parts,
like
and within zoos to dispose of deceased animals.
Zoo!
They are extremely tame, not caring if any creature is around them, only acting defensively when it is within consuming a meal. This means they are very easy to tame. Overall, meat snakes are a marvelous creature with a very interesting way of sustaining itself. It is an amazing experience to encounter one, as long as you don't mind the smell. Our next creature is the mimic. The mimic. The mimic is a bipedal creature with uncanny similarities to humanoid anatomy.
I knew it was gonna get worse.
These features include extended finger length, longer limbs, bulging, empty eyes, and their most prominent feature, a wide, teeth-filled smile. Although it resembles a happy face, this is due to coincidence, and is only how their facial structure is shaped.
Coincidence.
The maw of the mimic contains much more teeth than humans, and their teeth is comprised almost entirely of incisors, with some canine and premolars in the back. This tooth composition is ideal for biting down onto meat and swallowing chunks whole. A mature mimic's diet is comprised entirely of human flesh.
Hello?
Because of this, they are found solely around human-populated areas. The mimic's life cycle is made of 3 stages. In the first stage, a young mimic separates from the crawl. They closely resemble their trimming relatives, but are thin, sleek, and only have 4 appendages.
A baby mimic.
In this stage, the young mimic will hunt small animals, moving on to larger and larger as they grow. Once large enough, it will begin metamorphosis into the next stage of life. Once fully transformed, it will resemble the description mentioned in the beginning. Its hunting style changes and becomes much more complicated. It now stalks and feeds only on humans.
Humans!
It will locate human-populated area and begin its search for an easy target. To blend in, it may use objects to conceal itself.
Clothing.
These include clothing, mannequins, and furniture.
Mannequins?
Once a target has been found, the mimic will observe its prey and learn its routine and when it is most vulnerable. This is typically when the human is asleep at night. Once the prey is within position, the mimic will advance silently until it is close enough. The mimic will then execute and immediately begin consumption. Once the mimic has had its fill, it will leave the scene, a fair distance away from the human population, and begin to digest its meal. Although, in the case that a human is awake, a mimic will use a variety of sounds to either lure or startle prey into cornering themselves. Once a human is in place, it will swiftly attack and kill the helpless target.
is worse than a mimic? I'm trying to think. Is it like an animal version? That's the only way I can think. Bro, these niggas is ops! They specifically wait for you to be lacking. They will stalk you for so long, and when you're lacking, when you sleep, they... Bro, what is these niggas? And they like 6 foot, 7 foot. Get in the NBA or something. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
The next stage of the mimic's life cycle has 2 potential morphs.
Next stage?
If a mimic has a consistent supply of food, it will develop more human-like features. It will grow skin, hair, and by the end will look nearly identical to a human being. It now can blend entirely into civilization and lure other humans more effectively. The second type of morph happens when a mimic receives an overabundance of food. It will grow into a larger, more evolved hunter.
Oh my god.
Portions will increase in length, and its humanoid features will fade away. It grows a thick, dark coating of a flexible skin, which is highly durable, and increases in strength the more the elder mimic consumes.
Like armor.
This excludes the face, which is now coated in a pale pink skin. The mimic's teeth have also moved deeper into the mimic's throat, leaving its mouth a toothless grin. It uses the dark hue of its skin to hide seamlessly within a dark environment. Its skills have also been heightened. This makes an elder mimic one of the most efficient predators on the planet. Because of the obvious threat this poses on humanity, nations around the world have released instructions on how to be able to fend for yourself in a mimic encounter. Here are the instructions.
1. Avoid going out alone if your location is known to have mimics, or there have been mimic sightings. 2. If you encounter a stationary mimic, seemingly unfazed by your presence, quietly leave the location and alert your local authorities.
Yeah, right.
Get yourself into a position where you are able to flee. Mimics will rarely attack if a person has a clear escape route. 4. In the event that you have been cornered by a mimic, roll into the fetal position, protecting your neck, face, and vital organs from attack.
He's not.
Make as much noise as you can to alert any other people. 5. If you have a weapon, do not use it. A mimic is fairly resilient, and any strikes or shots on a mimic is not effective enough to bring it down.
So what can you do?
Use it as a barrier between you and the mimic to block any attacks. 6. In a situation where a mimic is hunting in the immediate area, and is not aware of your position, hide somewhere low, like under a bed or behind other furniture. A mimic will not linger too long to search for prey, and will move on.
Be safe, and avoid any encounters with a mimic at all costs.
Pretty sure a mimic made this doc.
The harvester.
The what?
The harvester.
It looks like
the
an
harvester
egg.
is a large, bulbous mass, with a large amount of tendrils spreading from the base. The bulb measures around 3 meters in height and 2 meters in diameter. The tendrils, on the other hand, can extend up to 150 meters in diameter horizontally. The harvester is a specialized form of crawl that grows in a unique and deadly way. A harvester is created when a node that will grow into a harvester, instead of separating, continues to grow. Eventually, it will grow tendrils of its own. It uses the energy provided by its mother branch and expands its reach further. Its tendrils, hidden just below the surface of the ground. The harvester is equipped with 2 types of specialized tendrils. The first type is bulky and flat. They lie the closest to the surface.
It's like
These
teeth.
branches are lined on each length of the tendril with spines, extending in the shape of a bear trap. On each side of the branch, Those particular spines have a vein that feed into them, that pump two types of venom. On one side, the spines can inject a neurotoxin, which will attack the nervous system of whomever it is injected into, causing sudden paralysis. The other side can inject an anticoagulant, which when injected, prevents blood cells from clotting. Whenever a large animal moves across the area armed with these tendrils, the branches will clamp onto the animal and thrash violently. Once the prey has been injected with both venoms, the tendrils will rest and the prey will immediately collapse.
Oh my gosh.
The animal will be unable to move due to the paralysis, and the wounds caused by the thrashing spines will not stop bleeding. All the prey can do is lie patiently, until succumbing to blood loss. Once the prey has bled out, the second type of tendrils come in. They lie below the spine equipped once. These branches are thick, but very sturdy. They share similar anatomy to the small branches of the crawl, equipped with organelle that absorbs nutrients. These tendrils sense the blood, and move their way to the surface and begin to absorb the vital fluid. Once the blood has been consumed, the tendrils will wrap around the body and begin to shuffle downwards. This movement loosens the soil and slowly pull the body underground. Once secure, the tendrils will continue to feed until there is nothing but scraps. The nourishment absorbed by the tendrils will be sucked back into the main bulb of the harvester. This bulb houses all the vital organs and the venom glands that pump into the spines.
Big ass egg.
The remains underground decompose, providing a rich soil, causing very prominent plant growth, which then attracts more animals.
Well, technically, yeah. He's spawn camping!
The spines will only activate on larger animals, allowing smaller ones to pass by unaffected. The spines will also not activate on some species of bird. There are a couple theories as to why this happens. One, it could be that attacking smaller animals would cost too much energy for what they get in return, making it not worth the time. Another could be that smaller animals may attract larger animals or predators, allowing a safe place where prey may thrive and lure more predators. It truly is astonishing.
No!
The harvester is decently rare, only populating sparse areas in the northern hemisphere and woodland forests. If you are stung by a harvester, there will be no way of helping you, being that there is no cure, and fatality is 100% positive.
100%.
The best thing you can do is avoid encountering a harvester in the first place. If you are hiking, take note of any warnings or signs saying that there are harvesters around. If you also notice an abundance of lush, ground-dwelling plants in a forested area, and there are no signs of wildlife, this is suspicious and you should leave the area, staying close to the base of large trees or rocks. If you find yourself in the middle of a harvester ground, do not panic. Sudden movements may activate the tendrils and will inject you. Although a harvester is rather forgiving, do not risk any skittish movements. Remain calm. If you have any objects with considerable heft, like coats, backpacks, or full water bottles, gently take that object and lightly toss it towards the bulb, and away from your escape route. This will activate the spines on where the object lands, distracting the bulb for a moment. You will then slowly begin to do wide shuffles away from the bulb. If possible, throw another object when you are certain you are a fair enough distance away, just to be safe. Continue until you are completely sure you are out of harm's way. You may come out unscathed, but don't be too obnoxious, or you will be a harvester's next meal.
Bro, this dope, bro.
Next up is...
Shut up.
The host.
The what?
The host of influence.
Just gets worse.
The host has its name derived from a host who invites guests to an event. Not to be confused with a host, a harborer of parasites or disease. The host is a semi-humanoid looking organism. It has the structure of a head, torso, and arms. Other than this, it shares no other characteristics.
Legs? No legs, that's good, right?
The lower half of the host is comprised of a mass of fibrous tissue and tendrils that burrow into the ground to hold the host in place. Instead of skin, the host is covered in muscular tissue fibers, tendons, and veins. In some parts of the body are covered in a meaty plate, used to cover any large exposed areas, but allowing movement. The host's head has a smooth surface where the face should be, attached to a crooked neck, which houses a slit in the front used for feeding. On the host's back is a mound of pores. Protruding from these pores are hollow, hair-like structures, extending outwards. These hairs are barrels that release spores produced within host's body by being fired into the air. These spores are hazardous, so keep clear of them at all costs. Luckily, the host is rare, only found in North America.
How convenient.
Obtaining info about the host is a very risky and daunting task. This is because of their rarity and of how dangerous it is to be up close to one. The spores released by a host is very dangerous when inhaled. A host will release a cloud of spores into the air, which will be picked up by wind and carried great distances. If an organism inhales the spores, the particles will find their way into the organism's brain and infect them. An infected organism will show no symptoms of infection right away, but a couple hours after infection the infected organism's behavior and thought process will change. The first symptoms that appear are restlessness, sluggish movement, numbness of joints, and lack of coordination. Then more serious symptoms appear over time. These include dizziness, migraines, impaired speech, and trembles. If you, or someone you know show these symptoms, contact poison control or emergency services.
They're gonna put them
After
down.
a total of 6 to 7 hours after infection, the organism will cease all activities they were previously doing and begin to walk. The direction the infected will walk is towards the host whose spores have been inhaled by the infected individual. If the infected,
He gets like an army.
they will kneel down in front of it, expose their vital organs, and the host will promptly gut and remove those organs. The host will consume them and discard the leftover scraps. However,
Is
if
this
an
real?
infected organism doesn't reach the host within a 36-hour span or is treated for their infection, the effects will wear off and return back to normal. If a host is unable to find prey or doesn't like its current location, it will unroot itself and move to a new location.
On what?
Their scarce numbers and the hazard of being around one makes getting info about the host very daunting.
Only no
All you need to
photo.
currently know is that the host is extremely dangerous and should be avoided at all costs.
What is
Next, the monoliths.
What the fuck?
The monoliths. The monolith is a very new creature, only showing up in June of 1972, in the area of. There are only 7 monoliths, all of them located in a circular position, 1.5 kilometers in diameter. This ring of monoliths surrounds.
They're not
The monolith is a Titanic-sized being, measuring roughly 120 meters in height. Each monolith has 2 trunk
Holy
legs that are firmly embedded underground. The legs connect to a torso. The creature itself is made of hundreds of thousands of meaty strands, tightly woven together to form the structure. These strands end at the neck, fusing into a solid mass of hardened flesh in the shape of an upside-down triangle, with a hole in its center. On each side of the monolith where arms would be, there are dozens of long, rope-like appendages. These reach just barely to the ground. At the creature's feet, the strands go deep into the earth and extend horizontally a decent distance away.
That is huge.
What the monoliths do is simply stand and do nothing. The only activity documented that the monoliths have done was in during
They really
this
don't
period.
want to tell us.
During this period, they were extremely aggressive. When the group of were making their way to the city, the monolith that they had passes roared a deep bellow and swung its appendages at the team, completely wiping them out. When military vehicles were dispatched, once they got close enough top the monolith, it roared another call, this time releasing an EMP blast, completely knocking the vehicles out in the vicinity. Finally, long-distance rockets were fired and struck the creature.
Something must have happened. Bro, chill. What is this? Oh my gosh. So what could be worse than this?
Although damaged, It regenerated at great speed and resumed its stance unscathed. Eventually, the area has been fenced off and is now restricted to all.
Damn.
Ever since, the monolith stands silently, now only a grand spectacle of awe and mystery, only adding more questions to these meat beings. And finally, the last creature on this list is...
The singularity is an orb comprised of a dark-colored mineral with hints of luminous colors within its core. The singularity is estimated to be 1 meter in diameter. The orb has several unique qualities that are not well understood. The singularity typically can be found suspended in air by an unseen force. There are also a variety of readings that have been documented coming from the orb itself. Various things like magnetic fields, energy signatures, and other pattern-like signals released by the singularity. The population of these creatures is unknown. Almost all info about the singularity is hidden or confiscated by officials.
Government.
We were only able to receive one classified document about the singularity being held by...
marvelous and majestic world that exists today. It's as extraordinary to have such strange and mysterious beings appear all around us. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and discovery of the lives of these living meat creatures.
No comment. I'ma like it. That was a good video. I'm just thinking. Obviously, it's not real, but I'm not saying that. I'm just thinking like, it's like bacteria, and it's just like, I don't know. That was really good. I was really good. I'm gonna try to make a very creative intro. If I can't, then oh well. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys liked this more than I did. I'll catch y'all guys tomorrow. Peace.
Oh my God.